We've been talking about the Great Depression and the coming Greater Depression we believe is coming. And understanding the Great Depression, of course, unemployment was high, and therefore people didn't have jobs, which was obviously a very scary thing, especially for families. And but even more so, what's it going to be like now? We already have high unemployment rates and
We do.
labor shortages and all these problems. And if we hit a second Greater Depression, how bad is that going to be?
And it's important that you guys are able to feed your family. So here are some things that we've come up with that would be able to help you out.
Number one, sell unwanted items.
Now you guys can sell a lot of things that you aren't using around your place, and you can sell them on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. You can even put a sign up at your local farm store if you have something that's bigger. There's lots of opportunities to sell things that you don't need.
But here's taking to another level. Sell other people's stuff. And I don't mean steal it and then sell it, although that could be lucrative. Don't do that. But I actually have a really good friend we went to high school with, and his entire business right now, without being thrifty, is finding things at like yard sales and such, and he'll turn around and he knows what he's looking at, and he'll turn around and sell it. But he actually started out working for an antique store and told the antique store, hey, I bet we can sell a lot of this stuff online. And the owner was like, hey, if you sell a certain amount, we'll give you a cut. You can actually sell other people's stuff for them and make it so they're getting some money and you're getting some money, and it actually helps out.
Number 2, gardening. If you have the ability and the land to do it, gardening can actually make you pretty good money.
Because especially in today's culture, people do not want the garbage, pesticides, and everything they put on there. They want organic stuff.
They do.
And people know that typically small gardeners, I should say, actually do it organically. I mean, you can put a sign on there, this is organic stuff. But, you know, around here where we're at anyway, we actually have little stands on the end of people's driveways everywhere, and they're always self-serve, you know.
They are.
Says, hey, look, there's some of them we've stopped at, but a lot of times I'm always drawn to say, oh, look, I want their tomatoes or their corn or whatever. And I mean, sometimes it's a little bit more expensive.
Sometimes.
But you know it's going to be fresh stuff. And if you're that person gardening those things, if you happen to be a really good gardener, you can easily turn around and sell it.
Exactly.
Not to mention farmers markets.
Yes.
You know, we love our farmers markets.
They are.
And again, this could be a very lucrative business, because let me say this real quick. When it comes to the Depression, the Great Depression, 75% of the population was working. And the way it works economically speaking, the people who are working are actually making more than they did before. It's really weird. But it compensates by the people who aren't working, obviously are jobless. We're seeing that right now too. So understand that you may not be working. You may be stuck in this Greater Depression, but there are going to be people who are working and working 2 jobs, like the husband and wife and the kids, you know, trying to make ends meet. And they still want to have fresh produce.
Yeah,
and so you could be that person. You could be their fresh produce pusher and sending it to them through the back channels. Number 3, tutoring children. Tutoring can be really good money.
It can.
I mean, especially, I don't mean to knock anybody, but especially today, kids don't seem to have the drive they did. Not that I was driven, you know, back when I was in high school, but they often need tutoring.
They do.
And I remember when I was teaching, I would tutor.
A lot.
And they would pay a lot of money, to the point where it was like, you sure you want to pay me this much? I didn't even ask for it. And they would say, we'll pay you this much, like for physics, you know. But it doesn't have to be physics.
No, it can be whatever you're good at. Are you good at music or art?
Piano lessons?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, very good. Math, home economics.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people look for these things, especially kids who are struggling, or even better, homeschools. We actually belong to a homeschool group. And I considered making like an online class for specific science things, because that's what I used to teach. And I don't want to say I'm good at it, but I have a really good way of putting it in a way they can understand it. And maybe you have that knack too. And so if you could actually tutor kids or set up your own classes to teach them, you could actually make really good money doing that, a lot of times from the comfort of your own home.
Number 4, babysitting.
You sit on babies? That's disgusting.
No, it's not just for teens. It can be for experienced people, older people. If you can walk around and do that, a lot of times you can watch 1 or 2 kids in your home, and after school, a lot of parents just need a little bit before they get home from work, and you could be that person.
And we're finding more and more that schools are establishing their own political agenda, and so they want to have it so their kids can actually go somewhere without having to be pushed into those categories of them forcing their beliefs on you. So you could easily make it a very political free zone. Just come to our house, hang out, have some popsicles, and watch Barney. Anybody watch Barney anymore?
I don't know.
But you could. You could still watch Barney if you have those VHS tapes. It would work out perfectly. So anyway, I guess instead of babysitting childcare.
Yeah, you just check your local state of what they require and just check into it.
For certain, because I guarantee states love to put their fingers in those things and tell you how it's supposed to be done. Number 5, mending clothes. Boy, do we live in a disposable society or not.
That's for sure.
Oh my gosh. And it's amazing how you'll just wear a shirt for like a year or two now and it starts getting holes in it. Where actually I still have some shirts going back 30 years ago and they're still just fine. Things are getting more and more garbage. And so if you actually are decent at mending, doesn't matter if you do it by hand or sewing with a machine.
Yeah, if you're able to do it.
Yeah, the disposable clothes, I don't know if a lot of people will pay to have those repaired, but if you have more expensive stuff.
Yeah, maybe those favorite jeans got ripped and you can help fix them, or maybe you have business attire that needs to be fixed or tailored in some way and you're able to do it, then that's an excellent source of income and you don't have to leave your home.
And I think that more and more people are not knowing how to sew anymore.
For sure.
So therefore they could definitely use your services. I like sewing.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. But again, I guarantee if you put a couple ads out like in, I almost said Craigslist, but that's really getting kind of old now.
It is.
But like Facebook or Facebook Marketplace, doesn't even have to be the marketplace.
Or your grocery store or library. Our little grocery store has little things up of things you can do, or the laundry mat too.
Yeah, maybe even sewing on patches too. Because a lot of businesses have patches and stuff.
They do.
Those are actually easy to sew on. They're kind of fun.
Number 6, running errands.
So back to mom and dad both working now and they don't have a lot of time. There are so many just little errands that need to be run. From picking up cleaning to grocery shopping.
Getting your oil changed. Well, I guess you couldn't really do that though.
Oh, some people can.
Some.
Sure. Or even more so, people will pay somebody to just cook one meal for them.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we're not talking about having a live-in chef and maid, although that is a possibility. We're looking at more specifically just jobs, just errands that people need to run. Because understand that, again, in a Greater Depression, if you are working, you may be making more money, and let's say both you and your spouse are working, you may need to hire someone to take care of those small tasks.
Exactly. Pick up the kids from school or whatever.
Oh, yeah. And again, like we talk about babysitting, just watch them for an hour. Okay. But again, you could be that person running those errands, you know, really simple errands. And of course, people will be happy to pay for that kind of stuff. And I mean, I think it'd be like negotiable as far as what they'd pay.
Yeah.
But, you know, probably hourly. But, you know, if you work for the Wilsons from 7 to 9 on Mondays, and then that afternoon you work for the Johnsons, and then you can actually start setting up a schedule. And even though the Wilsons are only paying you so much per hour for a couple hours, the Johnsons will also do it, and so will the Smiths, and so will everybody else. So there's lots of ways you can make this happen. Number 7, cleaning homes.
This is something that everybody has to do, and most people dread it. I do.
Oh, yeah. We all do. Of course, our house, everybody pitches in, our entire family, when it comes time to work. We're like, okay, let's everybody, we're going to clean. And you can still feel everybody going, oh, we don't want to clean. We don't either. No. But you know what? It's one of those things you got to do. And I don't know, but I would be more motivated to clean if somebody's paying me.
Yeah, no, I would be true.
So if you clean somebody else's home, again, there we go. These mom and dads from a different family are working and they don't have time to keep things clean. And maybe it's only going to their house for 2 hours a week.
Yeah, exactly. Helping them out.
I mean, think about this. I mean, I think for like minimum wage now, it's like $10 an hour, right?
Something like that. I don't even know.
So let's say that you make a deal with the Johnsons. I'll come to your house for 2 hours, clean for 2 hours as much as I can. I charge $30 an hour, $60 for 2 hours.
That's good.
They're like, oh, $60 once a week to have things cleaned up? That's a great price.
It is.
But you're making $30 an hour. And if, again, you really start setting up with families, and what's beautiful about this is you can actually set up specific blocks. So like Johnson's, you know, I will give you that price of $30 an hour, but that includes coming every week at this time for $30 an hour, or $60 for 2 hours, whatever. And that way you can actually set up your own job.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can actually set up your own schedule, because you've got to be home certain times for your kids or whatever the case may be. But cleaning homes, I think a lot of people want to have a clean home.
Yeah. It's just busy. And the thing is, you can pick and choose. Like, I've seen ladies that don't do bathrooms, or they don't do laundry, or they don't do meal prep or whatever. You can pick and choose what you would want to do. And that would help out. So.
Yeah, or make a deal with them and say, well, I don't usually do toilets, but if you throw an extra $3,000, maybe I will. Toilets of gold. All right, so guys, listen, we gave you 7 things, basically trying to make money. But the important thing is this. We're looking at that we could very well be on the precipice of having a massive unemployment
rate,
which is, we already have unemployment all over the place. Where do all the workers go? Okay, but if you're actually looking at trying to be more of an entrepreneur for yourself, It's actually really easy. So beyond these 7 things, I'm sure if you got your thinker going, you'll be able to actually come up with some really good ideas of ways to make money on your own time and what you want to do. It's actually, it's coming. It's coming. So again, whenever you talk about problems with economics and such, you just simply say, well, there's an opportunity to be had. There's an opportunity to be had in everything, and all you have to do is roll with the punches and to be able to accommodate for it. Okay, hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this helped. And hopefully I can get one of you guys to come clean my house. I'm kidding. We clean it ourselves. All right, can't say it with Ashley. She'll get mad. What? We keep our house clean. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Let's check out, there we go, this next video right here, and we'll see you next time.